The International Biathlon Union, IBU, has suspended the activities of our federation, SBR, meaning that Russia is now outside the world biathlon system, in absolute isolation. How about really? 1. The main thing, this decision does not entail any new consequences. Our athletes are already suspended, they missed the March block of international starts. Even the head of the RBU, Viktor Magarov, does not quite understand how to interpret the letter from the IBU. I did not see specifics in the IBU decision. What did they stop? We both worked and work. It is not clear to me whether we remain a temporary member of the IBU or not. The decision to deny admission was made a month ago. Now we have been suspended for humanitarian reasons. Where is it written? What article of the IBU constitution? The IBU hasn't explained exactly what it wants from us. What exactly should be stressful is the IBU's punitive excitement to suspend, exclude, ban and emphasize it in different ways. By the way, ours will not be allowed to start even on individual applications. As a rule, the world biathlon leadership is conservative and clumsy. But here it suddenly came to the fore. If the IBU is in such a hurry now, then it is possible that our biathlon will return to the international level later than other types. 2. The IBU states that all decisions are interim and may be reviewed at any time depending on the circumstances. The September Congress in Salzburg is considered to be a landmark, probably. The fate of our team for the next season will be finally decided there. It is clear that the situation with the tolerance depends on the mass of global factors that cannot be predicted. But in general, the SBR is not tuned into the next international season. Our biathletes will spend at least a year at domestic starts, and apparently in Belarus with the participation of this team. The most important thing now is not even to draw up a single replacement calendar, but to lure the best biathletes to the local stages. The Cup of Russia in its usual format is a tournament that is not in demand not only from television and sponsors, but also from the athletes themselves. There are a couple of reference points stages where people gather to get into a team or get a title. Otherwise, the competitions gather 20 to 30 girls and 30 to 40 men. Victoria Slivko spoke about this very well at the beginning of winter. In short, traveling around Russia all winter is expensive and pointless. For victories they give certificates and caps. So biathletes in the new reality need motivation, prize money. Neither the leaders of the national team, who are accustomed to other competition and good bonuses for success, nor young people who find it easier to change their profession, and maybe citizenship, will not want to run for diplomas before it's too late. 3. It is not clear to me whether we remain a temporary member of the IBU or not, Magarov's words, which are also worth paying attention to. The SBR was transferred to the status of a temporary member in 2017 due to doping cases. In principle, this did not affect anything. Our biathletes participated in the stages under the flag of Russia, earned prize money. At the same time, the RBU, being a temporary member, did not pay a fee to the IBU, but received decent money from there for the results of the team. Since our federation had to pay off the debt for doping in the past in parallel, the IBU withheld a significant part of the amount. But about a year ago, the SBR finally closed a huge debt and waited for a full payment, and not a cut one. This is 50+ million rubles at the rate of 2021. The money came not in a single tranche, but several times during the year. The amount itself is tied to the results of the national team. It is something like the distribution of income from television broadcasts between the participants. And since our biathletes will not be on TV broadcasts of the World Cup next winter, then there is no need to wait for money from the IBU. The RRF budget has not been published. But if we focus on figures from 2 to 3 years ago, then 50 million is about a third of it or even more. 4. The question hangs: what to do with the national team? Magarov would like to keep it in its usual form. But the national team, in fact, has no one to compete with, but is filled with people from the regions. Probably, this is not a priority issue. But it's still interesting. Lodginov, Latapov, Restsova and others will prepare and perform as people of the national team or regions. And then what about the coaches, service staff? In this sense, the service incident in Ufa is indicative. Top skis, the base pool, did not reach the stage. It seems like the RRF had the logic to leave them in Moscow, but still there was confusion. Many athletes and coaches complained. 5. Finally, how can our biathletes not degrade while suspended? Magarov believes that a year without international starts will not lead to a drop in the level. Elena Vyalby has a different position in a related form. A year without the World Cup is 10 steps back. True, biathletes are better than skiers in some ways. The biathlon team is used to holding the vast majority of training camps in Russia, Sochi, Saminsky Pass, Demino, Tyumen, Khanty-Mansiysk, Aldan. The Poyas began to master Raubichi near Minsk. Which are all the more relevant. Skiers, on the other hand, almost did not get out of Europe, where there are more slopes, varied terrain, any height, and generally a million options for work. It will probably be a little easier for biathletes to rebuild, although some of their favorite bases are now unavailable for a long time, primarily Belmikon and Ramsau. That's all for today. If the information was interesting to you, put likes, subscribe to the channel, and see you soon.